Hello, what's up? God blessings. How is everyone doing? Yes, as you've already read in the title, I'm just going to do my mind on a certain movie. I haven't done this in quite some time. It's because of the time and stuff like that. Even though it doesn't cost too much time to make these, but I'm kind of busy. I'm kind of a busy person. So I was thinking, I got enough time now, and today I want to talk about Dog Day Afternoon. This is not really a review, and it's a spoiler video. I'm going to talk about this movie, what my opinion is, and I'm going to talk about the technical point of view. Do I like it, and do I like it on a technical um, point of view? Because this movie is technically speaking one of the best movies ever. It's not even my opinion. It's just a fact that this movie is one of the best movies ever. You don't have to like it. It's just a fact. I mean, seriously, this movie comes from the year I don't even know. I'm 1975. Of course, it's probably made in 1974, although I'm not even sure. The problem is I don't do any research. I'm just going to give my opinion, thought on this movie, A Dark Day Afternoon, and yeah, what can I think about it? Well, it is Al Pacino's best year, of course. The 70s, 80s, and 90s, that was his most success years, of course, with movies like Serpico, of course, The Godfather trilogy, Scent of a Woman, in the 90s, of course, Dog Day Afternoon, of course. Yeah, Al Pacino has got several Oscar nominations, who played in several great movies. Yeah, he is just a great career. And at the moment, he also played in a few bad ones, which weren't all that good. And you know, his acting is sometimes a bit. He played in the movie Jiggly, which is one of the worst movies ever. Um, Dog Day Afternoon is the total opposite of Jiggly. The problem is with Dog Day Afternoon is that Dog Day Afternoon is, you know what? It's IMDb. It had several Oscar nominations. It even won an Oscar for Best Writing, Original Screenplay. It was, yeah, it was a great movie. It was an absolutely great movie. It was well done. The Best Director. I have a different PC next to me with all the information. This is totally very unprofessional. It was also nominated for Best Picture, and it deserves every bit of Oscar it was nominated for. Sure, he has only won like one Oscar, but the other nominations were correct as well, like Al Pacino being the best leading role, which was definitely one of his best. Well, he has a couple of good roles on his side, but this was also a very good one. Chris Sarandon, who also played in the movie, he played one of the plot characters. When he came into the movie, the whole movie just goes a little bit like this. I can tell you, movie with this is a movie with spoilers, so click away if you don't want to be spoiled by the movie. But there is a certain premise in the movie. The movie starts with a bank heist, of course. Al Pacino and John Cazale. John Cazale, who played Fredo, wasn't it? Alfredo in The Godfather, the first one and in the second one. I didn't like him in that movie, and he was okay in this movie, but he got a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor. You see, that's the reason why I don't like the Golden Globe nominations, is because, to my opinion, they nominate actors way too fast. They also have they also have for comedy, like best leading role in comedy and best leading role female and male in for comedies, and I'm like, most of them does a really poor job at acting in that role. But okay. But Al Pacino and that Chris Sarandon, and I don't really remember the name. Um, you know what? You think this is going to be a bank heist movie? It's a true story. It's all been done perfectly. I mean, the editing is superb in this movie. It was also moved for. It was also nominated for best editing, film editing. The editing is superb. The directing is superb. The acting is overall very good. Yeah, it's about a bank heist, but the whole story behind the bank heist totally hit me. It was like, wow, really? You know, it was like first it was a bank heist, and Al Pacino just needed some money, and you think like, okay, he has money problems. Doing a bank robbery is never the best thing you can do, to my opinion. Of course not. It's one of the worst things you can do. But I don't want to judge this person who did it. I can't really remember where this movie was, when this movie was based on, and what year. But it's this is he just robs a bank, and okay, he needs money. Why he needs the money? It's never all that clear. Well, yeah, he needs this for his family, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, when Chris Sarandon comes into the movie just changes literally. I mean, just like, for me, it changes literally. It was, I'm just like, wow, wow, Doctor Afternoon. It was when Chris Sarandon comes into the movie. Al Pacino is married, of course, has a wife and kids, but he's also married to a man. Then you think like, oh, okay, what does this have to do with the movie? Well, the reason why he robs the bank is because his husband, where he's secretly married to, wants a sex change. And of course, I don't want to talk right about sex change because that's not what this opinion is all about. As a Christian, I don't think, I don't want to touch on the subject of sex changes, but that's what happened into the movie. That his so-called husband wants a sex change, and that is the reason why he robs the bank. I mean, he's like, I want to speak to my wife, I want to speak to my partner, and all of a sudden his wife, who is actually his husband, where he's secretly married to, because he's already married to a woman, he has a kid. You think like, okay, he's talking about his wife, he's talking about her. No, he's talking about his husband. And it's like, it comes out of nowhere. I mean, the whole bank heist is already, perfectly done. I mean, Al Pacino does a fantastic role. The Chris Sarandon does a fantastic role. But all of a sudden, yeah, that's his husband. When Chris Sarandon comes, because he wants to talk to his wife, and then Chris Sarandon comes, and, as a viewer, if you haven't know the story, you're like, what? You really are surprised. I mean, I was completely surprised. It came out of nowhere. It was like, what? It was insane. Yeah, so yeah, he wants the money, for the sex change of his wife, because his wife, is homosexual, and he wants to be turned into a woman. Al Pacino wants the money for him, for his so-called husband, because they're secretly married, even though, but Chris Sarandon doesn't want anything to do with Al Pacino. I really shouldn't talk too much about it. Whoa. And of course, the movie ends with the bank robbery behind it. I mean, it's a true story, so what I understand is that the whole movie is correct, is historically correct. So wonderfully done, and especially, the character. I mean, Al Pacino plays a character, and that character made a lot of fans back in the bank heist, because he names a few things, and I'm from Holland, so I'm not so sure, because he's like, when he first steps out, to negotiate with the police, he takes out a. It's been quite some time since I watched this movie. Maybe I should watch the movie before I'm doing this opinion. But he mentioned something, about something else that happened, and everybody's like, yeah, everybody likes this guy. I mean, this person isn't bad. I mean, John. Oh, sorry, the thing fell down. John Cazale, who plays Sal. Yeah, Sal is like the, like the. I mean, he said to Al Pacino, we are going to kill himself that they are going to kill themselves if this doesn't work. And Al Pacino's like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. But Al Pacino is the only one who's like level-headed. You know, he's like on the level, and Sal is like, I don't care. I mean, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then there are some other scenes in it. You know, I mean, they start to talk with the people that they abduct. You know, with the people that they hold hostage, and they have fun conversations, deep conversations, conversations that aren't as nice and stuff like that. And of course, about the whole husband thing, and they actually turn out to be friends. You know, not really, but you know, they turn out to be really friendly with each other, and then they escape, and then the movie ends with Sal being shot and Al Pacino being undershot, and he's like, he really wanted the money. You know, he didn't want to hurt anybody, and nobody really gets shot in the game except for Sal. But there's a third one in the beginning of the movie, but he's like, I don't want to do this, and he steps out pretty fast. You know, let me just click this away. And then and then all of a sudden, blammo. This is definitely one of the best movies I've ever seen in the history. What is my opinion about this movie? I really enjoyed myself. Like I said, it blew me away when that whole Chris Sarandon came, you know, like the husband of that man, and he's like, yeah, I'm actually a woman trapped in a man's body, you know, that sort of thing. He really wanted to change himself into a woman, but he couldn't get the money, so Al Pacino tries to get the money for the sex change. And there might be more reasons why he needs to get the money, but that's just the most reason that he needs the money. And so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the money for you. But the thing is, you know, Chris Sarandon, you know, the character that the husband of Al Pacino, doesn't want anything to do with him because he's very aggressive. He's always very angry at him and stuff like that. You don't see that in the movie. I mean, you learn that throughout the movie that Al Pacino is actually not a pleasant person to be with, you know, because he's very, very rageful and stuff like that. Actually, I don't see that too well in the movie. He doesn't seem like a very bad guy, you know. Sure, he wants the money and he points everybody with a gun, but he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Of course, he yells at his wife, but that's because he's on a lot of stress that he put on to himself. But, you know, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. So, yeah. What I truly like about the movie is that Chris Sarandon comes. You know, you think that Al Pacino talks about his wife, but actually he talks about his husband. Wow, you know, the movie really takes a twist after that. Wonderful. But the way it's been directed, you know, personally, I kind of enjoyed myself. I would watch the movie again, even though it's from 1974. I love the movie. I especially love Al Pacino. I mean, I almost love Oscar roles. Most of the time, they are good, and so they do a pretty good job at acting. So it's almost more fun to watch for me because movies that are technically good are always more fun for me. And this movie was a lot of fun. It's not my most favorite movie, purely because of the fact that I don't know. You know, you have to make choices, and Doctor Afternoon, I wouldn't choose that one. Even though I really think it's a 10 out of 10, a 5 out of 5, 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever. You know, 11 out of 10, if that's even possible. Yeah, great movie. Great movie. Technically speaking, like I said, it's one of the best movies ever. Technically speaking, the directing, like I said, this movie was historical correct. You see that back. It is historical. It's historical. I mean, the directing, the editing, and the acting overall. And let me see, cinematography. No, it was not nominated for cinematography. But overall, and the writing. You know, with the Chris Sarandon, but also the conversations Al Pacino and I forget the name, John Cazale, you know, have with the people that they keep hostage. It is absolutely breathtaking, and I'm not so sure if this is one of the first movies that has like a bank heist, you know, taking the whole day and stuff like that. I'm not so sure if that's true, you know, but I think the way the police negotiate with Al Pacino and John Cazale is pretty darn original. I love it the way it's been done because first you have the police and they like, no, it's okay, it's okay. Don't get angry. We're not gonna shoot. Here's the pizza. You're hungry? Here you go. Stuff like that. You know, but then the FBI comes and the FBI is a little bit more, is a lot more professional. He's like, no more favors. Just give us. If you give up, you know, will get. You will get, you know, a bargain. And then he negotiates without John Cazale knows, and John Cazale is being put in the dark. But you know, I think that's the perfect way to put that character. You know, yeah, well written characters. Technically speaking, one of the best movies ever. It's not really a review. This is more like my thought and my opinion. You know, but this movie is fantastic. If you like movies that are technically good, that are so good, if you like movies that has a lot of taken care of, if you like movies that is just as good as The Godfather, that is just as good as the best movies ever, you should watch this movie right now. Dog Day Afternoon is fantastic, and I just wanted to make a clip. But the next time I'm gonna watch the full movie, but I still remember it, of course. That's why I'm giving an opinion about it. But I would say check this movie. It takes around 120 minutes. That is not as long as most movies. I mean, most movies from the 70s and 80s take like more than 3 hours. Like, oh geez, I don't know. The Last Emperor, who's from the 80s, and The Sound of Music, who's even from the 60s, take around 167 minutes. And The Last Emperor well, the director's cut is 210 minutes. I watched the director's cut, don't know why. When I could watch, you know, the first disc. I'm going to talk about this movie as well one day, because this movie is even better than Dog Day Afternoon, and that doesn't say anything about this movie. This movie is really, really great, but The Last Emperor, The Last Emperor is definitely breathtaking. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, this was my thought on a movie title. I am not as much of a movie fan that I was a couple of years ago, but I'm still am a movie fan. Dog Day Afternoon is a fantastic, and I mean a fantastic movie. Seriously, I'm not making this up. This is really a great movie, and yeah, the reason why I don't want to talk anymore is because I'm already busy for almost 18 minutes. So yeah. Alright, God bless, God bless. Thank you so much for watching. Dog Day Afternoon is it's a fantastic movie. Yeah, like I said already that a million times. I don't want to get like I don't want to be a broken record, but movies that great will make you a broken record. I mean, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. You know, it just goes on, goes on, goes on. I love Dog Day Afternoon, and technically speaking, it's so fantastic. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, and maybe I'm gonna do more. Maybe I'm even going to do a review. This wasn't really a review. There was more like a thought on, you know, about this movie. Maybe I'm just gonna do a review about it. You know, more details. Yeah. See you later, guys. Goodbye. Thank you.